Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, here we go.
It's the final countdown.
Okay, here we go. Hello, boys and girls, and welcome to the show. This is episode number 9 of the Xbox Enthusiast Podcast. My name is Jamie, and I'll be your host on this enthusiastic podcast of Xbox greatness. And you all know my co-host, by player 2, Mr. Chris White.
Hello.
How's it going, sir?
Hi. Great. It's going great. It's a little late in the week. We're on Thursday, recording a little bit late. It's been a long week. I'm glad to be here. I'm glad to be here with you fine folks.
And I see you've stepped up your game behind you. I mean, it's not up to my standard yet.
No, well, no. Sorry. Yeah, I added a few things. If
Looks
you can
nice.
See here, look, I have my Star-Lord Nerf blaster right here.
Cool.
I have my Tron Identity disc right here. See? Got all my Infinity figures. Yeah, man. What's up?
Nice, man. And your pop figures are really good to go.
Thanks.
Hey, quick question. Did you spend full price on any of that?
No. I try to go half price, but I do know somebody who likes to spend full price.
And with that, we welcome back Mr. Full Price himself, Andrew Gonzalez. Sir,
Andrew,
how's it going?
It's all good. Man, I wish I could show you my collection of pop figures, but they're in front of me, not behind me.
Oh, that's okay. Oh, next time we'll just swivel you around.
Yeah. We can be a podcast in motion next time.
That's right. So, hey, where were you last week? What was going on, man? Our listeners are dying to know.
Just testing out some stuff. It was a really busy night, and I couldn't. Just the scheduling couldn't make it.
Sure, not a problem. We tried to hold down the fort the best we could. I mean, I'm a little better at it than Chris, but that's.
Hey, you're not gonna get any arguments from me.
Right. Well, okay, guys. With that, let's get moving on with the show. We'll just kind of kick things off with what we've been playing. And Andrew, since you weren't with us last week, what have you been playing this week and last week? What have you been up to, man? You got to be gaming a lot of stuff. We got a lot of reviews going in. You're like a reviewing machine. So.
Yes.
Well, last week, which the review's up now, I played Ninja Pizza Girl. It's really good.
It sounds good.
Yeah, I mean, it's pizza and ninjas and
girls. Like 3 of my favorite things. It's great.
It's a surprisingly deep story about bullying.
Oh, cool.
Bullying and like acceptance and things like that. And I didn't expect it to have an interesting story, and the main character was really good, and everything she did made me want to keep playing, and I really liked it. The gameplay is hit or miss, but everything else about it really stood out, and I liked it a lot.
So what kind of game was it? Was it like I'm assuming a 2D platformer?
It's like a 2D platformer. It feels like it's meant for speedrunning. You only have like 2 minutes or so to get the pizza to where it needs to be, and
so you're actually delivering pizzas while you play the game.
Yeah, because there's like a corporation that controls all of the pizza distribution in the city, and your family's like pizza is the best tasting pizza, and they're
I love this premise.
They're taking away 0.01% of the Mega Pizza Corporation's profits, and they don't like that, so they're sending ninjas to stop you in your tracks so you can order pizza.
Oh, that is a perfect recipe for a game.
So it's
no pun intended.
It's like a 2D platformer with a mixture of what feels like Tony Hawk Mirror's Edge. You're jumping from building to building. You're sliding down like ramps. You're drop kicking boards and going through them. You're sliding under enemy ninjas and stunning them. You're doing what you can to get the pizza to your destination.
Now, is it a runner? Like, are you constantly moving?
Yeah, but if like you get hit, it slows you down so much. So it almost feels like you have to be flawless at times.
Okay, but it isn't a game where like you can, like a game like say Metroid, where you can stop and run back and then so you're basically always running. Okay.
Yeah, cool. Because you're on a time limit.
Cool.
Every level has a time limit.
Very nice.
It's about 3 hours long, but it's pretty cool.
It sounds cool. I love the premise. It just reminds me of it's gonna sound weird, but Demolition Man, the movie. If you remember, like all the restaurants were Taco Bells. You remember? So it kind of the fact that everything is pizza is it's kind of funny. That everybody's eating pizza. It's kind of funny. So, all right, so we lost Jamie. He's going to be jumping on here in a second. So you played Pizza Ninja Girl, which sounds great. It actually, do you know the price on that, by the way?
Ooh, I think
it was like $9.99. Yeah, I think that's what I saw. I mean, come on, for a game like that, ID at Xbox gives us these great.
It was made by a family, like an Australian family. I think father, his wife, and their kids. I think like
very cool.
All made it, and it was inspired by, I believe, their daughter's life going through like schooling and like bullying and whatnot.
Awesome.
So it's a personal story. The characters were drawn, I believe, by their daughter as well, and as a comic book style.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, that's super cool. It reminds me of a couple months ago. I reviewed In Between, which a completely different game, but in the same way that it's kind of a trial and error puzzle platformer that I had. When going in, I didn't expect anything deep from it, and the story ended up being like this really cool walk through the 7 stages of grief. And it turned out to be super, super cool. So it sounds kind of like what you're saying. Like the gameplay itself sounds fun, but like it's surprisingly deep. So
yeah, like there's a mission where one character is in love with another, but they don't know it, and you basically have to deliver a flaming hot pizza, which is supposed to represent like his burning love for the other customer, and you have to get it to her while it's flaming hot, and like if it's like fizzling out, you have to stand in front of like a garbage can that's lit on fire to heat it back up.
That's great. That's clever. That's cute. I like that. That's cool. Cool. All right, so Pizza Ninja Girl, what else you playing?
I know you said you were gonna buy it, but I started playing Hyper Light Drifter. I like it. It takes a while. It took a while for me to get into it.
So I saw your comment. Tell me why. What's kind of the hurdle?
Well, it's tough to really get into it for me because there's no dialogue at all. A lot of it is told through like if someone's talking, you can see their thought bubble, and it's a picture of what they're saying. So like you can see gotcha. Like, oh, this enemy did this or whatnot. Like you can kind of get who the bad guy is. Gotcha. But there's no like clear-cut storytelling, and I find it really weird to get myself into it without some kind of concept to it. And then the gameplay is really cool. I believe it's non-linear because you can go to like 4 sections in the beginning, and I didn't know which one I should go to first, and turns out I went to one, but I should have went to the other, and it's kind of confusing. After I went to like the correct area and everything opened up and the combat was full force, I really got into it. But,
cool. So the gameplay is good, but you're missing kind of the just the story or the draw element. That's disappointing. Did you ever play Sword and Sorcery?
I did not.
So Sword and Sorcery is a great. It's a Capybara game. Cappy is the team that's doing below.
They're so good.
They are. They're great. But Sword and Sorcery, it was an iOS game. It may have came out on PC too, but it was known for being an iOS and an iPad game. But it had a similar thing as far as like storytelling. Like there was no dialogue, no written story. It was just all kind of in how you interpreted the way that the characters moved and talked. And it actually seems like that sounds like what they're doing in Hyper Light Drifter. It worked in Sword and Sorcery because Sword and Sorcery kind of it was all about atmospheric interaction. It wasn't as much a combat game, so I don't know how. I'm still interested. Hyper Light Drifter has been a game that I've really been watching for a while. The combat looks great.
It has a Zelda like feel to it.
Yeah,
very like Link to the Past. That
nice
style, and it's pretty cool. The gameplay is fun.
Now, since my computer crashed, but now I'm back.
Oh. We didn't notice that you left. Sorry.
You are hilarious, sir. Now, Andrew, did you get to talk about Ghostbusters at all yet?
We haven't gotten there yet.
Nope.
Okay, because I think that might be a good place to go, because I heard you love that game a lot.
I really like the movie.
The movie was great. The movie was really funny.
I like the movie, and that's what made me go out and find the game. I left the movie and I'm like, man, I want to play the game because it takes place after the movie. So I was like, that would be really cool to check out. It's the worst thing I've played all year, and that's after 7 Days to Die, which I thought was the worst thing I've.
Oh man, I know what you mean. Go from one bad game to another, man. It's never fun. Never fun.
It's slow. The voice acting's terrible. It's cheap tie-in. They only mention like the characters by name in like a passing scene, and then they try to tie it together with a boss, like with a villain, and it feels really forced, and
sure,
it's not cool.
Now, how long did it take you to beat it? Because I'm assuming it was really fast, right?
It's maybe like 4 hours, and it's a $50 game.
Oh,
wow, that's
good. Is it?
It's a twin stick shooter.
But is it set in the movie? Like, is it these movie characters?
No. It's like another division of Ghostbusters.
Oh, it's like a new team.
Is it set in the new movie's universe?
Yes, they mention them by name.
Okay.
Yeah. And it's pretty much, they're like, oh, like, we could be like Aaron, and I'm like, oh, okay, there's your tie-in.
That's funny.
And then then there's like ghosts from the movie that make an appearance, and I'm like, oh, okay, they're trying to tie it in, but it's not working.
Sure. Okay.
Start one thing. The only thing, if you like the song, it's in it in every cutscene, and it doesn't stop playing.
Who are you gonna call Ghostbusters?
It actually plays over all the dialogue.
Wow.
Yeah, nonstop. It just doesn't stop.
They want to remind you that you are playing a Ghostbusters game.
It sounds horrid.
Now, actually, if you want to play a good Ghostbusters game, and they really should make it backwards compatible, but the Ghostbusters game that came on Xbox 360, I think it was just called Ghostbusters, wasn't it? That game was awesome. It really was like supposed to be the third movie.
And I do want to say, like, when I was at E3, I played. I know Chris isn't a huge fan of LEGO Dimensions, but they have for year 2 they're making story packs. The first story pack that launches in September is the new Ghostbusters movie, which is
cool.
It's 18 levels. It's the entire movie.
That's great.
Oh wow!
The entire Ghostbusters movie, and like I played it before I saw the movie, and the very
did that spoil the movie?
No, but like the opening level is it's not a real spoiler for the movie, but like in the very beginning of the movie they go to like a museum, and there's a ghost that was in the museum, and basically the girls are going there to check it out. The dialogue from that scene and that scene where they're standing outside of the museum is identical in LEGO Dimensions and in LEGO form. Like the cutscene, the cutscene is like the actual scene from the movie. And when I was watching the movie, I was like, I know that entire line of dialogue.
Yeah, I've seen that.
And it has the actual voice actors and everything.
That's cool.
It's awesome. Really well done. It almost feels like that should be the game that was released with the movie and not the one that.
Sure. Huh.
But in the same way, Lego does this a lot. I mean, you could say that same thing about the Force Awakens. Like they launched Star Wars Battlefront when Force Awakens came out just to get the buzz. But like the game they should have launched last year with it was Star Wars Force Awakens Lego game because it was amazing.
Yeah, and like Lego's doing that also with Fantastic Beasts and the Lego Batman movie, where they're just putting a story pack out, which is the entire movie.
I hate it. I hate it.
Did anyone else notice that Chris just looks like a big old storm cloud? He's just floating over everybody's parade.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing. I love Lego Dimensions. Like it is well written. It is hilarious. But I cannot get around having to put my freaking figures on that base over and over and over again. It just takes away from what I want to do when I play games. If they would just give me like a grown-up mode, I'll still buy the crap. Just give me a grown-up mode where I flip a switch and I don't have to touch the base.
Well, hey, Chris. Well,
what?
What are those things behind you again?
Those are not Legos. Those are not Legos.
I'm just saying you put them on a base.
But notice that they're behind me. They're not on a flipping base.
Sure.
I think the thing with me is that my base is so close to where I'm sitting that I literally just pick it up, put it on, and I'm not moving. So I don't mind it.
Like if I played on PC, like right here on my desk where I'm sitting here and I have it sitting here and I'm playing on PC, great. And that may be what I just freaking do, just stream my Xbox to my PC and play with my Bluetooth controller when the Design Lab ships it to me, and that's fine. It's just the idea of sitting in my living room all the way across the living room and having to get up every 5 minutes to change a figure is just not the way I want to play.
Sure. Well, Chris, what have you been playing that's made you happy, or is everything making you?
You know what? I've been thinking about plugging Lego Dimensions base back up and giving it another shot. So we'll see. We'll see if I can come around because I obviously love the franchise.
Yeah, because year 2 has so many good things. Like day 1, it's A-Team and Mission Impossible, and
I'm sorry. Say that again. You cracked up.
Day 1 is A-Team and Mission Impossible and Adventure Time. And,
yeah, no, I mean it looks great. No, because then they have they have the Sonic pack and they have E.T. and they have Gizmo. I mean, these are all things that I love. Like don't get me wrong. Yeah,
that's trying to get you to buy it. I mean, they're gonna put so many things you love in this one little game.
Can't.
Eventually, you're just gonna cave.
I feel like the Toys to Life games, like the Skylanders games, should kind of adopt the Lego Dimensions model and release one game and support it for 3 years.
Yeah,
because that's what they're doing.
Well, that was the original plan for the newest Disney Infinity, and obviously that worked out pretty well.
Yeah. Well, the problem is they didn't do that at launch. Disney Infinity would have probably been better if that would have been their launch model from just like Lego Dimensions from the beginning. And it's great. I mean, because I mean, if you think about it this way, they've already built the engine. The engine's already there. Like the Lego game engine is already there. So rather than put all
it's been there since Lego Star Wars 1.
No, exactly, right. So instead of putting the time and the effort into cranking out like 2 games a year, they can basically release these level packs every 3 to 6 months. You're getting added value, and you're being able to sell it for an upcharge cost because you're adding figures and toys into it, and like it's a brilliant model. I just don't want to play with it. Like just let me play the game. That's all I want. All right, your question was what I've been playing. So well, we
and we're coming back around.
We jumped in. We got to stay on point. So we jumped into Gears of War 2. So we talked about beating Gears of War 1. Gears of War 2. Like literally all I want to play right now is Gears of War. And this is how old is Gears of War 2?
Oh geez, that's a good
10 years. Yeah. So
was it 2005 that the 360 came out? Because it came out a year later, so I would say 2006.
So so I'm playing an 8 to 10-year-old game series, and that's all I want to play. Like that has like that's pushed Gears 4 to the top of my list for this fall. Like I'm super of course Recore is going to be amazing.
Well, I was about to say.
But Gears 4, like I was gonna play Gears 4 just because it's a marquee title, but now I'm actually looking forward to it, so that's cool. We're playing. Yeah, dude, I can't wait. So we're playing Gears. That's fun. I've been playing I've been playing back through Inside. I can't get Inside out of my head. So I've beat it 3 times now. I went back and got the secret ending, and sometimes I just randomly plug it up and jump to certain places and just play through it again, just because I can't get images or thoughts out of my head, and I'm trying to figure out what it all means, and like that game will just stick with you, and I love it. It's probably definitely my game of the year right now. Like I love it. So I've been playing Inside again, and then I've been playing Teeny Titans. And
we will not stop talking about that game.
Non-stop. It's an iOS game, probably on Android too. But it's basically Pokemon. It's basically like if Pokemon and Disney Infinity had a baby. So you play as Robin, you're running around town. They're having a tournament where you have to buy action figures, and those action figures, you put them on a base, and then they pop up in a game, and you do turn-based role-playing with them, just like freaking Pokemon. And there's an elemental chart where this one attacks this one, and you have an advantage. But I have probably put in the last week, I probably put 6-8 hours into that game. I love it. It's great, so good. I think it's $2.99. That's $2.99 I've spent this year. Great.
Cool. Anything else?
No, but you guys got to watch. Have you guys watched Stranger Things on Netflix?
I'm 2 episodes in.
Oh my gosh,
it's amazing.
It's really good.
Well, I think
I kind of want to turn this. Go ahead.
The worst thing I do is I watch it right before I go to bed.
Not good.
Not good. Well, like I usually go to bed around like 1:30 in the morning, and I wake up around 7 to go to work or whatnot. So I watch it and I go to sleep, and then I wake up and that's all I'm thinking about.
Yeah. Yep. This is like the TV version of Inside for me. Yeah, it's like literally all I wanted this podcast to be is 30 minutes of talking about Inside and 30 minutes talking about Stranger Things, and I'll be happy. So if you guys haven't watched it, Stranger Things is on Netflix. It just launched last week, and think E.T. meets The Goonies meets
Close Encounters.
Close Encounters. Yeah, it's so good. So it's like an old.
They announced the season 2, you know, right?
Yeah, well, they can announce the season 8. That's great. Just keep making it. I'm okay with that. All right, Jamie, what are you playing?
Well, to go to consoles first, I'm reviewing. Hopefully, this review will be up by the time this podcast is up. Cast of the Seven Godsends. Reviewed that for Xbox One. It's an indie title, made by a small team. It takes pretty much the ideas of like. Ghosts and Goblins and Super Ghouls and Ghosts, and those games from Super Nintendo and stuff, where it's almost identical. I mean, you know how in those games when Arthur, he loses his armor, he's in his underwear and he's running around, and you're going to get hit and you die. Same thing. You gain your armor and you lose your armor. You pick up power-ups. I mean, it's pretty much the same thing. The game it's fun. It's really short. You can beat it in about an hour, maybe hour and a half.
Wow.
It's a really short game. I think there's 10 levels, 10, 12 levels. It's one of those games where it's supposed to be extremely difficult to get to the end, so you're supposed to replay it over and over and over again. It was actually on PC first, and to my understanding, when you played it on PC, there was no save state mode. You played through, when you died, you went back to the beginning. That was it. The Xbox One version does have a save state mode, which is nice, so I can play it in pieces.
I would prefer the no saves.
Sure. Well, I mean, the thing is, there's a lot of really cheap deaths because the hitboxes on the characters are all screwed up. You fall through the environment a lot. There's a quote unquote story, but I don't think they did it on purpose. There's a lot of grammatical errors, a lot of spelling errors. There's a lot of like words like out of order. This game is missing a lot of polish. It's lacking a lot of polish. The combat is fun when it works. I mean, I understand what they're going for, which is great. It's just, missing some stuff. It's fun, though. Other than that, non-Xbox related, I'm still playing a ton of Monster Hunter Generations. That's probably my game of the year right now. I'm a pretty big Monster Hunter fan. I've been putting a lot of time into my 3DS right now. The other thing I've been playing, I know something Chris is extremely excited about. I actually got a new phone. I no longer have a Windows phone. I now have a Samsung Galaxy S7 Edge. I'm pretty excited about that. But with that, one of the first things I did, I downloaded Pokemon Go. I had to check it out. I mean, there's so much hype about it. I've been playing. It's kind of funny. I'll be sitting at work, and I'll just tap the button, and there's like all these Pokestops around my job. And, different Pokemon are popping up. For some reason, there's no water or anything anywhere near my area. There's a lot of water Pokemon, but I'm having a good time with it. And I see Chris shaking his head.
I used the Wartortle the other day. I was really upset. Everybody I know was like, I got the Wartortle in the parking lot, and I didn't get it. But I went one place 2 weeks ago. There was about 90 people at the Pokestop, and
oh wow!
And then there was about 30 cars parked with people in each car with their phones playing Pokemon Go.
That's hilarious. I mean, it is fun. I only got it yesterday, and because there's not a lot, I live in a small town, so there's not a lot of Pokestops in the area. Just earlier at dinner time, I was sitting down at dinner, and I realized I've run out of Pokeballs. So I'm like, oh. So now I know that our local post office, I think it's either a gym or a Pokestop, but so I'm going to have to drive by there tomorrow and kind of spin that little coin thing and make more Pokeballs come out.
Every 5 minutes there are resets, I think.
Oh, okay.
So, and there's one right across the street from my house.
So sit in your car for 2 hours and then you get some Pokeballs.
There's one right across the street from my house, so essentially I can just keep going back and forth. But.
I mean, it's really fun. I'm having a good time with it. I'm just getting a lot of Rattatas and a lot of Pidgeys that are everywhere. But like I said, I'm having a good time with it. But I don't know if I'm going to be playing for the long term. I'm enjoying it. I think it's fun.
Well, trading and like one-on-one battling is coming soon, like with people you know. So I feel like that'll add a lot more to it.
Sure. It maybe we'll bring Chris around. I mean, who knows?
No, I'm done. I won't play that. I'm super pumped for Sun and Moon, but that game can bite me.
I'll be playing my 3DS, but not for Sun and Moon. There's a new Shin Megami Tensei game coming out. It's called Apocalypse.
Oh.
Yeah. It comes out in September, but I think it comes out the same week as Recore, so I might have to put it backseat.
Sure. Okay. I mean, that's all I've been playing lately since last week. I was mainly just getting the new phone and trying a bunch of mobile games out. Oh, I got Miitomo extremely late. Nobody's playing.
Great.
I was going to say, Chris is helping me out because he accepted my friend request. I only have 2 people accept my friend request because nobody's playing it anymore.
I downloaded it the day I got my iPhone, and I opened it once. They told me to make an account, and I deleted it. No time.
Oh, come on. You need a Nintendo account anyways, man.
I know, you need one for Wii U and for 3DS. You already have a Nintendo account.
Look,
I don't remember the password.
Listen, if you're still playing Miitomo, search for Neo Lego because I am amazing in Miitomo.
Right. Yeah, he actually has some really funny posts. And also, James0722 look for me as well because I need some friends on there. Get some actual Nintendo coins I could never get before.
Yeah.
But, I mean, that's pretty much it on my phone. Oh, I also got Fallout Shelter. I kind of checked that. Like, all these games I got a while ago, I can finally play. So I'm downloading this, not old, not super old, but
and yet
old
you
enough
choose to
people
spend your
time
playing time with crap like Pokemon Go when you could be playing Teeny Titans. That's a travesty.
Oh, man. Okay. Well, with that, speaking of travesties, let's get into our news section and what we call the news box.
News box!
Now, there really isn't that much news going on right now since last week.
News box is over!
There's a couple things to hit on. First off, they did announce the games with gold for August.
Yes.
I'm probably going to butcher this one. Warriors Orochi 3.
Yes.
That is coming August 1st through the 31st. We're also getting WWE 2K16.
Oh, yeah.
August 16th through September 15th.
Oh, yeah.
That's for Xbox One.
Hey, that's the one that's the one that has Sting in it, right?
Yes.
Yeah, because the last time I cared about wrestling, Sting was in it, so I'm all about this game.
And it's funny because I almost bought it. It was on sale for like $40 off at Best Buy last week, and I almost bought it.
Oh,
and I would have been really good.
See, I haven't watched wrestling in a long time. It's been a long time.
I told you, dude, Sting, man. 1999 Starrcade. Sting versus Hulk Hogan, man. Come on.
Oh, yeah. There you go.
I was, like, the last time I went was 2001 when, like, Triple H and The Rock were there. And,
oh, yeah. Like, when I was watching, it was like, it was The Rock and Stone Cold Steve Austin and stuff like that. And like, some of the people are still around, like Gold Dust and some of those other, like, kind of floaters, right? They're always there.
Yep.
But, okay, on the Xbox 360, we've got Spelunky from August 1st to the 15th, which I've never played. I've always heard good things, so I'm really excited to check that one out.
I've been wanting to play it for, like, the last 4 years. No.
And the other one we're going to get is Beyond Good and Evil HD.
Oh, man.
August 16th to the 31st. That's another one I've heard really good things about and never got around to playing.
You've never... Oh, man.
I had it on the original Xbox, like, the day that game came out, and... Oh, it's so good.
Yeah, Jamie, do you even know what the game is about?
Kind of. You're a girl that's like a photographer, and it's kind of like Zelda-ish, right?
It's Ocarina of Time on the Xbox. I mean, it's 3D action adventure, dungeon diving. Oh my gosh, the game's great. Yeah, that's great. I mean, I beat it on the 360 when it came out. I bought it and beat it, but I'll play it again.
Cool. Well, actually, speaking of dungeon crawling, another game that was announced this week, kind of Zelda-ish, kind of God of War-ish, Darksiders War Master Edition is coming to Xbox One. And that's actually a really good game. I played through it on PS3, so I actually might pick it up on Xbox One. It's only $20. Just real quick to let you guys know what's changed. They've got a native 1080p resolution now. They're doubling the texture resolutions. They said they have rendering improvements. There's going to be better shadow rendering. They're
going to be better.
It's going to run at 60 frames per second. Dude. And that's going to be $20 on Xbox One. So that's not too bad.
Dude, was so good. Like, I don't have a problem with like anything in that game. I love that game. I mean, the second one is more God of War than the first one. The second one's all action. The first one's all Zelda. So I never beat the second one, but I bought the definitive edition on Black Friday, so for like $10. So
yeah, I thought about picking that one up. I honestly, because they're both only $20, I think I might just buy them both for $40 for Xbox One. I've said this in the past, and some people think I'm crazy, but I feel like because I know they want to make another Darksiders, right? They PlayStation's got God of War. Nintendo's got Bayonetta. So they both have the kind of the action-heavy games. Xbox doesn't really have anything like that. They should just buy up Darksiders and make it their own thing.
It's going to be scaled-bound, dude.
Well, that's true.
I disagree.
Yeah, kind of. I mean, from what I've seen of scaled-bound, it reminds me more of Monster Hunter a little bit. I think maybe it's going to be God of War.
Scaled-bound looks like trash.
It's the people that made Bayonetta.
Right, and Bayonetta's awesome, but I mean, scaled-bound to me doesn't remind me of Bayonetta.
Yeah, Bayonetta 1 is probably one of my favorite Xbox 360 games.
Yeah, Bayonetta 2 is one of the greatest games of this generation.
Scalebound. So listen. So I've never been a Monster Hunter fan. I played through the demo of this dumb game that Jamie's playing, and
you tried to jump into Monster Hunter without knowing what you were doing.
Yeah,
you can't do that. It's very complicated.
I absolutely hated that game. Well, so
you have to give it more than just like a short chance.
I told him to let him sit down with me. I can explain everything to him, but he doesn't want to take the time to do that.
But the problem
Gears of War is a little too complicated for him. So I think Monster Hunter is kind of like up here.
The problem is I could have kept playing, but I also had Teeny Titans.
Oh my god!
And I want you to understand that on Monday night I sat down on my couch at about 9:45 with the kids in bed and had the TV ready to go to play something, and I spent the next 2 hours playing Teeny Titans sitting on the couch on my phone. So that's where I want to be. What I was going to say though is now having played Monster Hunter, that's what Scalebound reminds me of.
It really doesn't to me though. Like, I don't know.
Demo they showed in E3 where they're all just like whacking at nothing.
It doesn't. It reminds me more of one of my other favorite 360 games, Dragon's Dogma.
I didn't play that.
Oh, that game was so good. It's like a mixture of Monster Hunter, Devil May Cry, and Shadow of the Colossus.
I like 2 of those 3 games.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, actually, speaking of games that some people in this little podcast don't like, and also speaking of remasters, let's smash those 2 things together. And I'm going to let this go to Andrew and let him rant about it. They are making remasters, well, kind of remasters of Marvel Ultimate Alliance 1 and 2.
Well,
So, Andrew, before the show, you were telling us you were super excited about this. Let us know what's going on.
Well, it's not even a remaster. It's a re-release. I've been reading the Comic-Con announcement for it, and they were like just a re-release. They made better UI decisions. The effects look a little better, but I mean, this is a 10-year-old game and an 8-year-old game, and they're charging $40 a piece for it,
or piece. 60. Oh, slap yourself.
Or 60 as a bundle. But these games do not look they don't even look good. They're 10-year-old games. You can get them on Amazon or GameStop for probably a lot cheaper, and they probably run better and look better on the 360.
Sure. Well, I mean, if the Darksiders games could come out completely redone, completely remastered at $20 a piece, and they're going to charge $60 for two ports,
well, I'll tell you why. It's Activision.
Yeah.
Well, they're the people that charge $50 for a Ghostbusters game.
Well, hey, I thought if you paid full price for that game, didn't it come with like a free digital download of the movie when it releases?
I think if you got the digital movie version, there's a movie version on the Xbox store that I think it's its own bundle.
Is it $50 or is it more?
That I don't know.
Oh, okay.
I just know at GameStop, a copy of the game is $49.99.
Well, real quick before we jump off of the Marvel Ultimate Alliance bandwagon here, did you guys enjoy those games? I mean, I really liked them both back in the day, back when I played them. But do they still have a place in this gaming environment?
Yes. So many people want that. The excitement when people heard it was coming back was huge, and that quickly died with the pricing. One of the guys who used to write for Xbox Enthusiast, his name's Luke. He was really pumped for it, and both of us have been saying, vote with your wallet, don't buy the game, because we both really wanted it. At $20, I would have bought it. Yeah. I would have bought it for $20. I would have bought it for $25, but you're charging $40 for each individual game. It's not.
Yeah. So where I fall, I love these games. Now they released two
really
fantastic games before this called X-Men Legends and X-Men Legends 2, which were great games. Now I've never been a PC gamer. So I kind of missed the whole Diablo thing. I to this day I've never played a Diablo game. I understand the appreciation for the series and what it's done for video games and the following that it has, but I've never played them. Recently they've come to console, but I've never been a part of my gaming history. So when I played X-Men Legends for the first time, this was my first really kind of jump into this 3D dungeon crawling experience, and I loved it. That game, I mean, each of these games are 40-hour games, and there's a ton to do, and replayability and characters to unlock, and I played all of Legends, and actually my wife never plays games, but my wife played through Legends and Legends 2 with me. That was back before we had kids, so it was a little easier to do that. But yeah, they're just great games. So when I saw that Ultimate Alliance was coming out, I was just ecstatic. Now, Marvel Heroes is the PlayStation. I mean, the PC game that's out right now.
Yeah, and that's what this game reminds me of.
Of course, I tried to play it. They just added controller support 6 months ago. Mm-hmm. I tried to play it when it first came out and hated it, but again, I'm not a PC gamer. When they added control support, I jumped in and I played a little bit, but I don't have a gaming PC, so it worked on my PC, but it's not great, So what I want is that experience on my TV, which is what Ultimate Alliance really is.
Sure.
And so I was yeah, man, these games drop at $15, $20. I mean, I'll be all over. You give me a bundle for $39.99 with both of these games in it. And I don't need remasters, but you're going to charge me $40 for a game that's literally not touched, that's 10 years old. It's asinine.
I do want to point out, they've never actually said remaster. they were like re-release, and I think that's the key word. But a re-release should not be $40.
No,
agreed. Yeah.
Well, like you said, you can go into GameStop and probably get them for like $10 a piece or less.
Yeah.
I'm assuming.
I remember playing both of those games with 3 other people in my room, like 4-player co-op. Those games were amazing.
They're great games. Great games.
And by the way, Chris, I also play Marvel Heroes on PC. So if you ever want to try to hop on there and try it again, let me know.
I have it. We can play.
Cool. All of us. We can all hop in. I mean, it's a good game.
Yeah.
Well, you know, and the thing is that, you know, so many people wanted Ultimate Alliance, and I know we'll never get another one because a lot of people won't buy this, and then they're going to be like, no one was interested in them. And it's because they put it for such a high price.
Yeah.
That's the way of getting out of making games, guys.
If they put it for $15, everybody would have bought it, and then they would have made a third one.
Sure. Well, guys, to go off of that, to talk about games that we loved in the past, that we would love to see Xbox bring over to the Xbox One through backwards compatibility. So that's going to start our topic of the week.
Topic of the week.
So since it's such a slow news week, we're kind of talking before the show, like, what are we going to talk about? And kind of talked about this whole Marvel Ultimate Alliance fiasco. Why didn't they just I guess to start off this topic, why didn't they just make the old games backwards compatible?
Because they would not make any money on it.
Mm-hmm.
So?
but to be fair, like, you saw the Amazon price shoot up when Red Dead comes out. But if you look at it, it's a 10-year-old game, so they're not seeing any money on that, right? They've already sold their stock, so Amazon's pocketing that profit, right? So if they bump up and they sell 500,000 copies of Ultimate Alliance because they do it backwards compatible, those are already sold through copies, so they're not seeing a dime, for that money. So in their mind, it's like we could give them to free, to basically to these people for free, or they could go scour, GameStop and pick up this game for $3 or $4 and play it, and we're not going to see any revenue on it, at all. Which again, I mean, it's the reason to do it, but the deterrent is not to jack the price up.
Oh.
Like, the deterrent is to jack the price down so that they'll continue to give you money.
Oh, and another thing, there is no DLC.
Yeah, none of the DLCs included.
Which is really annoying in itself.
And there's no way to buy it, right? I mean, there's no way to get that DLC back.
It was a licensing thing.
Yeah. It's a shame. Yeah, no, but I mean, the simple answer is money. The reason it's not backwards compatible is because of money, and there will be some diehard fans. Like, let's be honest. If I didn't have kids and I didn't have a family and I had disposable income, I would buy both of those games right now because I loved those games. But so that there will be people that will buy them, and they will make some money off of a 10-year-old game they really didn't have to do much to, and that's what they're banking on. But it's definitely not a vote of confidence for the fans, the people that like the game, for sure.
Sure. Well, and that kind of seems to be what's happening now, because Microsoft announced backwards compatibility and all these great games coming. Because I remember back when they first talked about backwards compatibility, they said, we're bringing the BioShock games over. They're going to be backwards compatible. That never happened. Now they're remastering and re-releasing to sell them. I mean, is it just going to keep happening? The games we want to see, they're just kind of, instead of doing backwards compatible, they're...
That's not their fault, though.
True.
No, that's not Microsoft's fault. But yeah, I mean, the same thing happened to Batman. You would think that Arkham Asylum and Arkham City would come over, but they're doing remakes of those games. And again, this is so let's take BioShock for instance. Did they give us? Do we know the price on the BioShock bundle?
I think it's a full $60.
Yeah, $60.
60.
Yeah.
So
but you're getting 3 games, all DLC.
3 games, all the DLC. It's worth it.
Yeah. So I was going to say even at $60, but I would probably put a game like that at $50. $49.99. Take $10 off, but you give it I'm happy to give a developer that has an amazing game like that my money, and especially Infinite's not that old. What, Infinite's 4 or 5 years old, right? It's not that old. It's not a 10-year-old game. So there are right and wrong ways to do it. So I don't mind a company beefing it up. Now, what I would like to see is the option. So the only example that I can think of right off the top of my head is Castle Crashers. So Castle Crashers had a re-release on Xbox One. They have an Xbox One copy that you can purchase, and they have a backwards compatibility capable. So if you had it on 360 and wanted to play it, you can play the game that you have backwards compatible. If you wanted to buy the Xbox One version, it has all the DLC, and I think it has a few little bells and whistles thrown in. Nothing major, but a couple little bells and whistles thrown in. So they give you the option where it's like, hey, if you want to give us a few extra bucks, here's everything wrapped up in a nice package, and it's a little nicer for you. But if you already gave us your money, you already have the game here, play it and have fun. Like I would like to see something like that. Like I would like BioShock to be like, great, if you want everything remastered, everything together in one package, everything looking great, here you go, give us $60. If not, here are the games that you bought 8 years ago, and you can play them if you want to. That would be the hope, obviously.
Sure. And I think part of it is that the jump between 360 and Xbox One, at least graphically, isn't as big as the jump from previous generations. So I think having a game backwards compatible or remastered isn't really a huge deal. I mean, I could go back and play an Xbox 360 game, and sure, I mean, going back with like with the Rare Collection, going back and playing launch 360 games like Cameo and stuff, sure, they don't look the best, but I mean, it's not really taken away from the experience.
Of course. Yeah, no, I would agree.
Cameo's still good.
Cameo, they were supposed to make a sequel to Cameo, and they ended up doing the Kinect Sports games instead, or something. I forget what they did. Something stupid.
Yeah.
Cameo was awesome. I loved the first Cameo game.
Oh, yeah, Gears. Gears is another great example. Yeah. They gave us Gears Ultimate Edition, which you've played it. We played pure Gears when we did our playthrough. So we played the original backwards compatible game. But that's what they did. Microsoft, like, here's Gears, and oh yeah, here's the Ultimate Edition. If you want to pay the extra $40, I think it was 40, right? Or maybe 49.
I think it was 40.
It was 40.
Yeah, so $39.99. So $40. Here's $40 if you want to have an amazing remastered version of this game. Give us your money. If not, you already own the game. Here it is backwards compatible.
I mean, they also gave you all 4 games that are currently out.
Of course, yeah.
For buying it.
Yeah. Like, I mean, there are right and wrong ways to do it. Obviously, Microsoft can do that with Microsoft's properties. The third parties can kind of do what they want to do. And Andrew, you're right. I mean, Activision is known for doing this kind of thing. We have a similar thing coming up with Call of Duty, where there's been no official confirmation if Call of Duty 4 is going to be available separate. And if it's ever going to come backwards compatible. So if you want to play the remastered version of Call of Duty 4, Modern Warfare, you're going to have to buy Infinite, the deluxe edition of Infinite.
See, the only reason why I decided it didn't bother me that much is because it's a $20 difference, so it's basically $20 for a remastered 4.
True.
I mean, it's not like they're like, oh, the Legacy, like whatever edition that is, it's an extra $50, and then you get Modern Warfare Remastered. It's $79.99, which is only $20 more, and you get a full game with multiplayer as well. And it's remastered, and it's arguably the best Call of Duty game ever.
Yeah, no, but I would argue that if we do see an individual release of that game, let's say 3-6 months down the road, it will not be $19.99. Yeah, they will not charge you $19.99 for Call of Duty 4. They will charge you at least $30 or $40 for that remastered version.
I totally see that happening.
Yeah. Sure. So it may be a good deal right now, but still, the idea is that they're not being very fan friendly with the way they're handling the strategy.
Sure. I mean, honestly, with what you're paying for a remastered game or even just a re-release, you're paying $60 for Marvel Ultimate Alliance. You could go and get an Xbox 360. What are they, like $99 now? You can get for like $100 or what. And if you get them used, I think they're even less than that.
You can get a used
game
one
for like $60.
$40 maybe.
Yeah. So you could seriously go out, buy an Xbox 360, both Marvel Ultimate Alliance games, throw in some other cheap stuff, and it would probably cost you less than buying the 2 Marvel Ultimate Alliance.
And they also have like the Forza Motorsport 2 Ultimate Alliance double pack for probably like $3.99.
Yeah. So I mean, it's like why wouldn't I mean?
Yeah, and I just googled a game like Witcher 3. Witcher 3 right now is $49.99, same price as both of those Ultimate Alliance games. So you're telling me that as that package, right, with both of the games together. So you're telling me on a marketplace when you can buy two 10-year-old games, or you can buy a game like The Witcher 3, and you don't own either one of those. What are you going to pick? Like, it makes no sense to launch that game at that price.
Sure. Now, when Microsoft announced backwards compatibility, not at this most recent E3, but the one before that, I mean, it was a huge deal. People were saying, this is awesome. I'm super excited. But it seems like the way we're talking now, would you rather just keep your 360 hooked up and buy used games like super, super cheap of your favorite games? Or do you still want them to, because I mean, they're kind of piecemeal and bringing over one game here, 2 or 3 games here. Like, it's all completely random what they're bringing out.
My 360 isn't in my room, so I'd have to go somewhere else to play it.
So you wouldn't want to go spend $50, $60, get another 360 and hook it up in your house?
No, like it's in my house, but I'm just saying it's not in my room. I don't play where the 360 is. I have my other console, I have my PS4 next to my Xbox One, and it takes a lot of space, so sure. I can't have, like 3 consoles in the same area. But, I mean, if it's not backwards compatible, then I just don't play it.
That's easy enough. But Chris, you're shaking your head, man. Why are you shaking?
So there's a certain amount of quality of life that I look at in a console, and this is the reason why, like, I'm a big fan and proponent of a one console future, in that I like the Xbox One's UI. I love my Xbox One controller, and so if I'm sitting down at the couch and I'm playing a game and I want to switch and play something else, I want to hit home, I want to go to my games and apps, and I want to play the game there. I would probably play Splatoon more than any other game that I own if it wasn't on the Wii U. And I know this sounds really probably stupid verbalizing it, but I just don't want to go to the trouble of switching the inputs on my TV and then going and getting the Wii U pad and making sure that it's charged. If it's not, then running a cable so it's plugged up, and then play Splatoon. When my Xbox is on, everything is there like that. So there are times that I just don't play a Wii U game just strictly because I don't want to bother with switching over. I'll find something on my Xbox to play. So with that being said, I love backwards compatible games. I love the idea of it, and I've played quite a few of them. And because I like the idea of hitting the home button, going to my games and apps and finding all my games there. I play. I just recently played through Braid again. One of my favorite games of the 360. I've been playing Red Dead again, which I love. Pac-Man DX Championship Edition, or I said that backwards. Championship Edition DX. That game all day long. I love that game.
It's sorry to interrupt, but the second one's coming out in like less than 2 months.
I know, that looks great too. God, I love Pac-Man, especially that game. That game was so good. So yeah, so I love it. I would rather Activision put their time and money into giving me new experiences and then letting me play the games I already own. The game is the game. Now there are certain gems. I'm glad they're remaking Call of Duty 4. Modern Warfare. That was a pivotal game in the series, a pivotal game in the Xbox 360's life cycle, a pivotal game for first-person shooters. And man, I've seen some of the videos, and it looks amazing. That's a game that deserves to be re-released and shared with people that may have not played it the first time, or just maybe want to preserve that memory. So I'm all for something like that, and I'm all for paying $30 for that game. If that's what they want to charge. Marvel Ultimate Alliance isn't touched. They edited the UI whoop-de-flip-and-do. Like, there's nothing that they've done to that game. They're literally just making it playable on the Xbox One when you could have just given me the keys. Just, I own the games on 360. Let me drive it on my Xbox One. It's not hard. And so something like that is just a cash grab. And I think the negative feeling and the negative, kind of mindset that we have is just from companies trying to take advantage of having those assets to resell us.
Video game companies don't try to take advantage of us. What are you talking about, man?
No. We don't even start on Nintendo. I mean, if I have to buy frickin' Mario one more time, I'm gonna hang myself.
But you'll still buy it, right?
But I'll still buy it as soon as Mario 3 comes out on iOS. I will buy that stupid game again. So the idea, I think I love the idea of backwards compatibility. I just wish that like I said, if you have great games that deserve to be revisited, great. If not, just let us play what we already have. I was an early adopter into digital, so I have like 200 digital games in my Xbox 360 library, and I have maybe 50 or 60 of them that are backwards compatible right now. So it's like just let me have those games, just unlock them and let's do this. So,
sure. Well then, I guess to kind of cap off this topic of the week, what games do you want to see become backwards compatible that aren't already?
Andrew, you go first.
Yeah, Andrew, go ahead. Start with you.
My second favorite Xbox 360 game is Catherine.
I've never played that.
I love that game with a passion that I could talk about that game for hours. It's some of the toughest choices that I've ever had to make in a game. It's such moral dilemmas, and the gameplay was so fun, but making decisions and making sure your relationships were, because you can choose to stay with the person that you're with, or you can choose to go with the other Catherine, which there's two Catherines. You're engaged to Catherine with a K, and then this girl Catherine with a C comes up, and you kind of have an affair, and then you play out how you want that to go, if you lie to your fiance, or if you stick with this girl, or if you kind of shrug her off and then are faithful to your fiance. And they're different storylines that play out, and it's really cool, and it's really awesome. And I've played it about 6 times, and there's 9 endings, and I've only gotten 5 of them.
Wow!
That game. I love that game. Everything about it. It's so
cool.
good.
Yeah, so it's a weird, wacky Japanese puzzle game. So for people that are unfamiliar, the actual gameplay is you're running up like a grid.
You're running up a tower, being chased by something in your dreams that's just trying to kill you, that has been murdering different men in the city.
Yeah,
who don't wake up from their dreams, and you're trying to escape the nightmare. And uncover what it is that's causing it.
And you're in your underwear the whole time.
Yeah.
Which is
amazing.
Horns,
right?
Which is amazing. And you have horns, So fantastic. Everything is great. There's a lot
of sheep. A lot of sheep.
There are a lot of sheep. All right, Jamie, you go. What do you got on your
Chris,
list?
go ahead, man. What do you got?
I have a bunch, but so I'll say Mass Effect 2 and 3. They just added multi-disc. They just added multi-disc support. Mass Effect 1 is already there. This is another series that I would gladly pay $50 or $60 for a remastered, not just re-release, a remastered Mass Effect 1, 2, and 3 package. But in the meantime, I love Mass Effect 1. It's fine, but for me, it's the weaker of the 3. And I know there's controversy between where you fall. I'm a Mass Effect 2 person.
Yep.
Mass Effect 2.
Yes.
Well, I didn't like the first one, and I didn't play number 2 for about 4 years after it came out. And then I played number 2. I rented it in the summer, and I was hooked. So.
Yeah. Yeah, so when I talk about Mass Effect 2, I talk about it in the same realm of games like Ocarina of Time. Mass Effect 2 is one of my favorite games of all time. Like, the game is pitch perfect. It has kind of a wonky final boss, but like everything else in that game is just brilliant. So I want to play Mass Effect 2 and 3 again. So I definitely want to see them added.
If you're talking about multi-disc, let me just say Blue Dragon.
Blue Dragon was great. Yeah, that was early.
That's when Microsoft's still trying to get that Japanese market to buy their systems.
That was the time when Lost Odyssey and Blue Dragon almost back to back.
Yep. That's true.
Cool. Games. Well, see, the problem for me is, first of all, Mass Effect was the one I was going to talk about, but that's okay.
Sorry.
But some of my favorite games from the last generation are already backwards compatible, because I was talking about Cameo. Love that game. Love Alan Wake. Love the Gears games. All those are backwards compatible. So I'm trying to think, what else would be great. We mentioned Ghostbusters earlier, and honestly, I really would absolutely love to see Ghostbusters become backwards compatible. That's what I would absolutely rebuy if I could, and play through it again. I really enjoyed that one.
That's good.
I wish they would put all the Japanese JRPGs out.
Lost Odyssey,
Tales of Vesperia.
What is the Chopin game?
Eternal Sonata.
Eternal
Sonata. Yeah. I forgot about that. That's good. Yeah.
I love that
Eternal
game.
Sonata, yes.
That game was so good.
So good.
Just give me more JRPGs. That's why I'm kind of excited for Final Fantasy 15.
Shut your mouth.
I'm buying the deluxe edition because it comes with the movie and the anime. And you can only get the movie and the anime through that, and it's a Blu-ray disc of the whole anime and the movie, and I really want those. They look so good.
Hopefully it'll turn out. All right, so a couple more I have. I'm a big XBLA game or XBLA fan. So a lot of my games are from there. I'm just gonna rattle off a couple that I want really bad. So Mega Man 9 and 10. They gave us the Legacy Collection.
I forget about this. Mega Man 9 and 10.
Yeah. So they gave us the Legacy Collection, which took us through Mega Man 8, the first 8 games. So having 9 and 10 on the Xbox One with the collection would be great.
It was only 1 through 6, right? It was.
That's right. Yeah. Yeah. But 9 and 10 came out on XBLA, which I love. Bionic Commando, the remaster, was a brilliant recreation of that game. It is super hard, and if you're not a fan of Bionic Commando, you would probably hate that game. But that game was
me.
You don't like it? It's a 2D platform where you can't jump, so there's a lot of hate for that. But man, I remember, these are back in the days when I could only afford a game here and there, and I would just play that game until I could beat it with my eyes closed. So Bionic Commando was one of those.
Bionic Commando.
And then Mark of the Ninja. Mark of the Ninja was one of my favorite XBLA games.
I got all the achievements for that game. I could not play that one.
By the way,
good.
Speaking of getting all the achievements, one game I got every single achievement for that I absolutely loved and would love to play again, Shank. Do you guys remember Shank?
Oh, yeah, Shank was
that game, and it was so funny. So when that game was announced, they had this big, infographic come out, and it said only 0.1% of people 100% of that game. I was one of them, so I felt super special.
I think we're in the same club.
That game was I love Shank. Shank was
Now, PSA, that's the same company that did Mark of the Ninja.
Yes.
So,
and it's also the same company that did Stay Alive. Or not Stay Alive, what is that called?
Don't Starve. Did you ever play Deathspank?
Deathspank! Yes. There's 3 of them. Those games are awesome.
I've only played the first one. I love that game.
Deathspank, I know Deathspank 3 was the baconing. I'm trying to remember what Deathspank 2 is called. Because the first was the Thongs of Justice.
The Thongs of Justice, so good.
God, dude, so good, so good.
Yeah.
There were a lot of really good downloadable games.
Yeah, so then I was just gonna mention. I don't know if you guys I still have a Kinect. I like my Kinect. I know they're moving away from Kinect, but the game that we played on the 360 more than anything was Happy Action Theater.
Oh,
Wasn't
yeah.
it Double Fine?
Yes.
That was a Double Fine game, and literally that game would just run for hours in my house. The kids would run around, and it would turn the floor to lava, and they would jump on the couch, and they would, that game was just so much fun. And to have that back on especially Connect 2.0, you would imagine hopefully would be even a little better, a little clearer at least. That would be a super fun game to have.
Cool.
And then go ahead.
Oh, no, I was going to say one game that you guys would probably say, man, that game was terrible. Suda 51 stuff, like
100% yes, anything.
No More Heroes was great, but I actually enjoyed Lollipop Chainsaw. You guys play Lollipop Chainsaw? The actual combat in the game is actually really fun.
That is on my top 5 360 games.
See?
Wow.
And people hated that game, but I really like Suda 51 stuff.
It is so good, and he did that and like Shadows of the Dam back to back, and oh my god.
He's kind of disappeared off the radar though.
He's making a game for PS4. That's his next game. It's is
that the one where it's like death on a skateboard or something? Like it's really bizarre.
It's oh my goodness, what's it?
They're
called?
always bizarre.
No, what's it called?
But that's what makes them interesting and fun.
Wait, it's like it feels like Dark Souls, but mixed with like it's weird. It's like Dark Souls, but like a punk style game, and you're looking like you have like chainsaws, you have machetes, you have like everything, and it's pretty crazy.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't played a game of his I haven't liked. I know he's had some that haven't been that great, but I've enjoyed most of them.
It's called Let It Die.
Oh, okay.
And I went to they had a Let It Die party at E3
this year.
Yeah, and like the waiters and waitresses all had like gas masks like from the game, so like they're giving you food and all like gas masks, and then they had the game playing, and it's weird, but he's weird.
Sure. Well, like I said, that's what makes his games fun to play. But okay, Chris, you said you have a long list. Let's kind of cap this off.
No. I just have one more.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, go ahead. No, you go. Cause I said a lot.
I'm looking at Suda 51 right now. He made a Kinect baseball game.
What?
Yeah. It's called Diabolical Pitch.
Oh, that's right.
Hilarious.
It's a baseball game on Kinect made by Suda.
Right.
I might have to download that and play it. Yeah.
Okay, Chris, what do you got, man? You have one more. Hit us with your best shot, man.
I was just I was trying to find the list because the thing that I looked at a second ago said that Crackdown wasn't backwards compatible, but I thought it was. Is Crackdown?
No, I don't think so.
Really?
Nope.
Well then, okay. Well then there you go.
It's definitely gonna happen in 3.
They have to. I was gonna say with Crackdown 3 around the corner,
it'll probably be like Alan Wake. You'll probably get it for free like whenever the game comes out. You know, like with Quantum Break, they gave you Alan Wake backwards compatible for free. They did the same thing with Fallout when Fallout 4 came out. So yeah, maybe that. So yeah, Crackdown, another one of those games. We talked about Crackdown a little bit because of the delay last week, but Crackdown was one of those games that nobody really expected a lot from. They bought it for the Halo 3 demo, but then it became, Crackdown. It became great. I'd love to play through that again.
Cool. Well, that's everything. Well, not everything, but that's some of the things we really want to see from backwards compatibility, what games we want to see. But let us know what games you want to see hit backwards compatibility. You can hit us up on YouTube. You can hit us on Facebook, Twitter, all those places. Leave your comments. Like I said, on Twitter, we're at Enthusiast Xbox. Make sure to check us out there. If you listen to just the audio version, make sure to rate us on iTunes, SoundCloud, and Google Play Store. So find us in all those places. As for myself, you can find me at Jamester0722. And Andrew, where can people find you, sir?
VersaVulture89 on Twitter and Xbox Live.
Awesome. And Chris, if people for some reason want to find you,
Andrew, you really should think about just changing all of your handles to full price Andrew. That's where people are gonna look for you. I'm everywhere at NeoLego, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook at NeoLego, on Xbox. That's where you'll find me.
Awesome. Well, hopefully all of our listeners has enjoyed another wonderful episode number 9 of the Xbox Enthusiast Podcast.
We're doing it.
Hopefully we will eventually get back to a regular schedule, although that might change a little bit with myself starting a new job and Chris being busy as well. It's going to be interesting, but we'll try to keep things as regular as possible. If you see some people shift around a little bit with our schedules changing, don't worry. We're going to try to keep this Xbox awesomeness coming your way.
Yep.
But until next time, guys, we are out.
So long.
So.